guys, today I'm going to review Play Misty for Me.
Play Misty for me.
For Clint Eastwood, an invitation to terror.
Play Misty for Me came out in 1971 as a psychological thriller. It's Clint Eastwood's directorial debut. It was written by Jo Heims and Riesner. Music was by Dave Barton. The film runs 102 minutes and cost $950,000 and it was quite successful. It made back $10.6 million. The song The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face was sung by Roberta Flack. The film stars Clint Eastwood as Dave Gardner, Jessica Walter as Evelyn, Donna Mills as Toby, and John Larch as Sergeant McCullen. And this film's a psychological thriller, and towards the end of the film it turns to more like a horror film. And this is the first film directed by Clint Eastwood, and he did an amazing job on it. You think he was directing films for years. So the film's about a stalker who's after Clint Eastwood. He works in a radio show. She's always asking him to play a certain song all the time, Play Misty for Me. He eventually has a one night stand with her and she gets worse and worse through the film, more psychotic.
Does he want his keys?
Come on, Evelyn.
Speak. Come on.
Having some trouble, lady? Get lost!
Yeah, get lost, assholes!
Towards the end of the film it's almost like a slasher film. She goes totally bonkers.
Have to get you all nice for David. I hope he likes what he sees when he walks in here. Because that's what he's taking to hell with him.
Yeah, hell, that bloody lass is crackers. She's nearly as bad as them lasses you used to gang with, Phil. No, she's not as bad as them bones. And this film sort of has the same storyline as Fatal Attraction from 1987. That starred Michael Douglas and Glenn Close. And what's interesting about this film is it reverses the roles. You see, many films where women are getting stalked by men, it does happen a lot. But also, the same thing can happen with men. Not as often, but you do get females that stalk men. Yeah, you get some bloody nutty women. Just think, look at that bugger that Johnny Depp's bloody married to. She's a right bloody nutter. And that one bloody Will Smith's married to. There with the bloody baldy head. So Clint Eastwood has some brilliant shots in this film. I love right from the very beginning, where the camera pans over the ocean towards where he's living, this little house. And when you first see Clint, he like turns around to the camera and his name's on the credit. So that was great timing. There's lots of wide panoramic shots and the waves crashing on the beach. Great sound, that. It really gets you into the mood. And there's great shots of Clint's face. He doesn't like have to use dialogue, but you can tell what he's thinking just by his eyes. He also uses jump scares. There's some gore in this film as well. People getting slashed with a knife. And sort of like the last 10 minutes, it's almost like a horror film.
God, you're dumb.
Clint's girlfriend in the film, played by Donna Mills, I've reviewed her in some Thriller episodes. She was in Thriller 3 times and I've reviewed all 3 of them episodes. She's really good in this film, but the real star of the film, it's not really Clint. It's Jessica Walter who plays the psychotic woman who's stalking him. And it's a great part. She was nominated for a Golden Globe. And the reason why she's so good is she's so believable as an obsessive stalker. And it's a gradual effect as well. She tries her hardest to meet Clint Eastwood's character, Dave, in a pub. She ends up managing to get a one night stand with him. And after that she keeps coming to his house and bringing groceries and buying him slippers. And always phoning him up. You almost feel sorry for her. She's not an evil character. The film has like a moral as well. You have to be careful who you meet and especially who you sleep with, because sometimes you don't really know a person. Clint Eastwood was 40 when he made this film and he looks really young. He looks about 30. And as usual, his great performance in the film, it's very rarely he gives a poor performance. And it's great how he shows like he's helpless and getting smothered with this woman. And you can tell just by looking at his eyes. that he's totally sick of her, but there's nothing much he can do. There are a couple of scenes that could be shortened, like a love scene, although it's really shot well and it is quite a beautiful scene. It does go on a bit too long. And there's a jazz festival that could have been shortened, I think, and Clint's like, it's one of his love jazz. He managed to incorporate a jazz festival in the film. It's interesting that 1971 seemed to be possibly Clint Eastwood's best year. There was The Beguiled, then there's this film, Play Misty for me, then the next film's Dirty Harry, and that's like a masterpiece. So I think 1971's possibly Clint Eastwood at his peak. And speaking of Dirty Harry, the director Don Segal, he's got a little part in this film. Also Don Larch is in this film. He's also in Dirty Harry, that's the next film. And his part's funny. Sergeant McCullen, he's got like a dry wit to him, but at the same time he's concerned for the character of Dave, telling him to get his locks checked on his door.
You will change the locks, huh?
Clarence Taylor, who plays Birdie, his maid, she's really funny in the part as well. And another black supporting character, his friend Al.
He who lives by the sword shall die by the sword.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out of there.
Both of them are black, and it just goes to show that this film's got a lot of diversity. So even though it was 1971, it just shows that some films did diversity right. And it's not token diversity like what the BBC does now. Yeah, why the folk think people were all bloody racist and homophobic a few bloody years ago? There's been bloody diversity for fucking years. It's just the bloody BBC showing off. Bloody virtue signaling. It's also a funny gay character. He's really funny.
Oh, well, it's nothing personal, really. It's just that I happen to think she could be a first-rate artist if her damned hormones didn't keep getting in the way.
There's not much he can do about that.
He could kill himself.
Hey, Phil, I know what side he bats for. Don't drop the bloody soap, lads. Shh, girls, man, there might be gay folk watching. Hey, Phil, is he the new doctor? It's bloody camp enough.
What the hell was that?
Bones, man. Sorry about that. So overall, I thought this was an outstanding film. And it's amazing, it's Clint Eastwood's first film. He does some brilliant shots. And he makes some great films later in his career as well. He's almost as good as a director as he is an actor. This film also has some really tense moments. I love towards the end of the film when Clint's character works out that his girlfriend's roommate is actually Evelyn.
No other thought than to love and be loved by you.
And Eastwood gets an amazing performance out of Jessica Walter. There's even a scene where he punches her. And I don't think they do anything like that these days, like you say, where a man hits a woman. But with it being self-defence, like she was going to bloody stab him, yeah, he had every reason to punch her. So I think with extreme circumstances like that, you should be allowed to. So this is one of Clint's best films. It's almost verging on the horror. So out of 10, I'm going to give it top marks. 10. 10 out of 10. I think it's outstanding. The different points of view, like great film, deal. It made my day. Okay, everybody, bye. See you next time. Like, subscribe and share. Bye.
He could kill himself.
JJ, why don't you go cruise some sailors, huh?
Oh, please, don't mention seafood.
Come on.